Hey guys, welcome to my awareness series. And today we are going to be jumping into two things that really helped me to come to a realization of what I need to do with my life. And I want to ask you guys a question. Have you ever been in a situation where you just realized that you've been living your life like in some kind of midlife crisis-y kind of way, and not really, okay, that's the wrong word to use. The right word to use is more of like you've been living your life on autopilot, or you've been just been going along to get along, and you've just been doing stuff that everybody else does, and then you realize that, you know what, is this really for me? Well, it's a painful realization to kind of wake up and realize that, hey, like I've been living my life in this kind of way, but at the same time, it's the birthplace of transformation. And I'm a transformation coach. I help to unify the vision that people have for their lives in a way that they can articulate it, work towards it, so it's not just dreams anymore. But I haven't always been that. And to be honest, I'm still transitioning. I'm still in a place of where I am going from where I am to where I'm trying to get to. And in that journey, the thing that sparked it started like 3-4 years ago, when I was in this situation of like, I am not happy just being a pharmacist. Now, let me tell you a brief story, but before I do that, I want to just give you the two pieces of value that you came to this video for. Like when I was aware, no, what helped me with my transformation was being aware of these first two things. Number one was awareness of what to read. I became aware that I needed to read. I needed to study a bit more. And number two, I needed to have conversations. Like I was trying to grow my awareness. And like when I'm aware, or when you're aware of a problem, you need to feed it a bit more, in a sense of like you need to basically spend some more time like thinking about that issue. And I will give you an illustration through my life now. So like basically 4 years ago, I was in a situation of like, I'm being a pharmacist, working in pharmacy. I was working in a GP practice and also working in a community pharmacy as well. And I came to a realization that I'm not really enjoying this. I feel like the value that I'm delivering is not that clear, because all I was doing was signing prescriptions. I was like, checking prescriptions and handing them out to the patients. So most of the time, I wouldn't even have the time to explain to the patients how to take it and all of those things, because I was working in a very busy pharmacy, churning 1,000 items a day. And that's more than the national average. So like the national average of prescription dispensing in a pharmacy is like 7,000. So if you're if you're in a pharmacy that's doing 20K a month in terms of items, you're in one of the busiest pharmacies in the country. And this is where I found myself as a newly qualified pharmacist just after the pandemic. And so I didn't have time to speak to patients. And even when I was working in GP practice, it just felt like I felt like I was working in an unsafe way. I felt like I was working outside of my competency, and it was just constantly uncomfortable. And I just felt like the payoff to the patient isn't that clear to me. Like it's not clear what the payoff is. And so I came to this realization that, you know what, am I really doing this for me, or who am I doing this for? And many of us, like, and when I say us, I'm referring to Black British people, first generation Black British. We are born in this country. Our parents raise us knowing what poverty and hard work is like. And they know that the NHS or healthcare is a good job. You can have good jobs in healthcare. You can have a stable career in healthcare. And so when my mum, my dad came into this country, they saw the NHS as a place of, okay, if our kids were in the NHS, this would be a safe place for them. And it's not a bad mindset to have. I think they had an amazing mindset, and I get where they come from. And so my mom wanted me to be a pharmacist or a doctor, and my sister became a doctor. My brother, they wanted him to be a dentist, but he was so rebellious that he just managed to find his way. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make to you is I was a pharmacist, and I've been working in pharmacy for 15 years. And I came to this realization of like, am I sure this is for me? And so in terms of what I said earlier, I went back to like reading. I went to a book called Mastery, and maybe I was fortunate in the sense that like I had access to this book that could guide me on this discovery of awareness and discovery of myself, that I need to I needed to understand who I was, essentially. I needed to understand what my passions were and get a better understanding of my passions. And so after I read the book, and the book basically says that your natural gifts and your natural, like, you know, what you're meant to be in this life, what you're meant to be in this world, is apparent to you as a child, right? It's apparent to you from childhood. And for me, I was thinking about it, and I was thinking maybe it's public speaking. And to those of you who are on this journey, I'm gonna put the link to the bio. I'm gonna put the link to the book in my bio so that you can basically get the book if you are looking for if you're coming to your own awareness of like, oh, like what I'm doing, I'm not happy with what I'm doing and I want more out of life. It's a really good book. So so I realized that I needed to sit my mom down and basically just kind of trace the genealogy of my life, if I'm using that word properly. But I needed to chase the trend of my life and see like what was I naturally good at each point of my life. And my mom identified a theme. We identified this theme together, that it was public speaking. And with public speaking, that was something that nobody really asked me to ever do. Like you didn't have to get me to like you didn't have to force me too much to do it. Like it was a thing that was uncomfortable, don't get me wrong. And even when I was in year 2, when I did my first speech, it wasn't much of a speech, but like it was an underwater story of a rainbow fish who lost the scale, and I was playing the role of a big octopus that was somewhat like Rafiki out of Lion King, you know, the sage who points you on your destiny, who shows you the way. I was the one who was showing the way to the rainbow fish who lost her scale. But anyway, the point of that is that that was when my mom first realized it. That was when everyone in the school first realized that, wait, this guy is good at speaking. He's just 7, 8 years old, but he's really good at speaking. And anyway, so this is where it started for me. And because I read the book Mastery, it helped me to get a better understanding of what I should do with my life. So anyway, so like, fast forward, you know, I joined Toastmasters, which was an international public speaking society. They teach you to speak. And I started to think to myself, this was when I turned maybe 20, 21. I was thinking to myself, there's no way I can make a career out of public speaking. I can't make anything out of this. I can't make anything out of this. And some of us are in this situation of, we have a passion, right? And we feel like we can't make anything out of it. And it's just sad. Like, it's just sad. Because the things that we enjoy, the people that we actually go and watch, like when you go and watch a football game, when you go and watch a movie, when you go and watch anything, when you go to anywhere, like the people who design these things are typically very passionate about what they're doing, more often than not. And so it's really important that we try and find a way with like merging our passion with our profession, and or at least like chasing your passion and going after your passion. And sometimes navigating that journey is not easy. So in my particular predicament, when it comes to my passion for public speaking, I am currently working 4 days a week in GP practice, and 1 day a week I sacrifice that 1 day, and you know, I'm losing money doing that, but I'm sacrificing that 1 day in coaching. And I became a coach through my passion for, like, when I was speaking on stage, I was always looking to give people ideas. And when that energy for me changed from what can I get out of public speaking to what can I give to public speaking, this was where like the transformation coach was born, because I was someone who was always trying to give something that was valuable to people. I was always looking to give people an idea, a way of thinking, something. But I didn't have any subject matter expertise at the time. I didn't have any expertise in like in what I was giving advice on. So I realized that I needed to develop subject matter, and I developed subject matter by working one-on-one with people and like, you know, helping them to come to an awareness of what they need to do and supporting them on that. And then I can give people, and then I realized that I can present case studies to an audience. I can deliver more value as a speaker to an audience, basically on the subject of transformation. So if you're looking to develop yourself in any aspect, there are requirements for that. There are things that you need to be doing, and that's what essentially this channel is for. And so the things that you need to be doing essentially is, number one, focusing on your foundation. And in this series that I've started now, we are going to be really much looking at like what is the requirements for transformation. And the first thing is awareness. You need to be aware, because you can't change the things that you're not aware of. And so for me, like, I became aware 4 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and it's been a slow and steady pace since then. But I help people come to these moments faster. Like, when you become aware of something, I advise you to get a coach, because a coach can help you to flesh it out a lot more. So it doesn't take you 4 years. It can take you 1 year. It can take you 6 months to really go from A to B, because you're working on it week after week after week if you have a coach. So like, anyway, so there are certain things you need to be aware of, and transformation begins with awareness. First it's awareness, then it's you need to make the intention. You have to have the intention to change something once you're aware of something. So I became aware of my problem of, like, you know, is this life the life I really want to have? Then I had the intention, okay, let me get this book. Let me read this book on mastery, because based on what I've heard about it, it seems like it's going to be a useful book. And by the way, if you do purchase the book, you are supporting the channel, because it's an affiliate link. So I do receive something for you purchasing the book. But anyways, no pressure. You don't have to buy the book, but it's something that helped me to change my life. And I'm going to be sharing the things that changed my life to my audience. So anyway, so once you become aware of something, you have the intention to change. Once you have the intention to change, you make the decision. So to make a decision, you cut off from like the alternatives. You cut off from the alternatives, because ultimately you need to move forwards, and for you to move forwards, you need to let go of certain things. And so there's the decision factor, and then there's the discipline, which is the last stage of transformation, because all of these things are needed, but discipline is what comes out at the back end. And that discipline is what causes the manifestation of your whole life, the life around you, your space around you. So anyway, so that's it for today. Like, today's message is ultimately, like, we are starting a journey of awareness, because there's different things that we need to be aware of. When you first become aware that you need to change something, based on my life at least, when I first become aware of what I need to change, I need to focus on like growing that awareness. And I did that through books, I did that through conversations. And the second thing I want to talk about as of next week is we need to be aware of what we're sacrificing, because everything, and we are always making sacrifices. So I really want to dive into that, but that's going to be season 1, episode 2. This is season 1, episode 1. And this is mainly about awareness of life. And I hope you found this video useful. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out and stay blessed by the best.